everyone, and welcome back to the LEGO Theory channel. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the highly anticipated topic of LEGO Adventurers. Let's dive right in! Alright, the first thing we have to cover with this fan-favorite theme are the characters. Starting with Johnny Thunder. Johnny is an Indiana Jones-like character who's world-renowned for his expeditions. Next up, we have Dr. Kilroy. He's a fantastic scientist. He decodes hieroglyphics, and he's really smart. After him, we have Miss Pippin Reed. She's the crew's camera woman, and sometimes a love interest for Johnny, getting engaged with him in one audio drama. After this, we have some other adventurers that only appear one or two times in the missions. Harry Kane is the pilot/driver/boater. Mike was rescued by Johnny on an unknown mission and scoops up a dinosaur as a pet on the adventurer's mission to Dino Island. Now we have to move on to the villains. First off, we have Baron von Barron. He collects treasures all over the world and keeps them for himself and for his boss, Sam Sinister. Next, we have Senor Palomar. He's pretty much your stereotypical gunner who chased Johnny Thunder all across the world. His partner, Rudo Villano, is pretty much a tough dude with a scar. After this, there was Mr. Cunningham, one of Sam Sinister's toughest henchmen. Finally, we have Sam Sinister himself. He's the big bad. He might look dumb, but it's just a show. He's the mastermind behind all of this. Also, just a disclaimer, there's some weird character changes that go on in this theme. In the Dino Island sub-theme, this guy was revealed to be Sly Boots, a sidekick character. Baron von Barron took on the mantle of Sam Sinister, and sometimes Lord Sam Sinister. Anyway, let's just cover the sub-themes. First, there was Egypt. The first adventure features Baron von Barron looking for an enchanted ruby called the Regau Ruby, which was under the control of the evil pharaoh Hotep. The Baron traveled to Egypt to try to steal it, but the adventurers foiled his master plan. After this, they all traveled to the jungle to secure the Sun Disk, an ancient treasure guarded by Achu, an ancient warrior. The gang gets attacked by Senor Palomar and Rudo Villano, but the adventurers get the disc. Next, we've got Dino Island, a very exciting sub-theme. The adventurers find an island populated entirely by dinosaurs. This theme brings Sam Sinister and his sister Alexa Sinister into the spotlight, fighting the adventurers. The villains also bring Mr. Cunningham on board, a poacher set on to capturing the dinosaurs. This time, the adventurers are after the silver horns of Africa. Not like elephant tusk kind of horns, but no, like literally like trumpets. It's really weird. Also, this could be the origin of the dinosaurs from LEGO Dino in 2012. Maybe after being saved by Johnny Thunder, Hypaxis 8 made another journey to Earth and captured the prehistoric creatures himself, privately cloning them for years and years until he released them in LEGO Dino. But that's just a theory, a LEGO theory, yada yada yada, let's move on. The final Adventurers theme is LEGO Orient Expedition. This is kind of the last hurrah for our adventuring team. They face off against Sam Sinister in a race across the world to find the Golden Dragon and the treasures of Marco Polo. This takes our team across India, Mount Everest, and China. It all starts with the gang in Venice, where Dr. Kilroy shows them a part of a map with a riddle as to where the treasure is. Johnny deciphers the riddle with another part of the map that they just conveniently have on them. They figure out that they must go to India. They also figure out that Marco Polo was given an ancient golden dragon from Kublai Khan. Polo, knowing that it was too big to take home, left it in Khan's palace in a secret chamber. Perhaps this has something to do with the other golden dragon that we see in the LEGO franchise. Anyway, the gang takes off, but little do they know that Sam was listening in on this whole conversation, and he follows them to India. They make it, and they sail down a river to find the first treasure. They find the treasure and have to fight a crocodile to get it. They grab the treasure and dock their boat in a forest. They then hear something in the bushes and discover Sam Sinister's plot to follow them. He's blackmailing some natives into giving him the treasure. Just as Sam's warriors are about to skewer an ancient native, Johnny swoops in and saves him. They learn that his name is Bablu, and that the Sunstone is guarded by an ancient being named Tigera. Dr. Kilroy accidentally stumbles upon the Sunstone's hiding place when Tigera runs after him. In an anticlimactic battle, the beast breaks the bridge he's standing on with his own weight. Bablu gives them a ride on his elephant to get to the next location. After an intense chase scene with Sam Sinister, they crash his car and speed away to the Scorpion Palace. This houses the golden shield of Marco Polo. They arrive, but somehow Sam got there first, despite having not any transportation to get there. Anyway, Johnny tricks Sam into activating a booby trap, and Sam gets chased down by a boulder, Indiana Jones style. Sam's right-hand man, ruler of this area of India, tries to get away, but Bablu corners him and forces him to give up his oppressive tyranny with the Sunstone in hand. The gang uses one of Bablu's elephants to reach a secret chamber in the attic of the palace. Inside is the shield, complete with a map to the next location on the back. Mount Everest. But somehow, Sam heard their conversation and he knows how to get to the mountain. The gang flies to Mount Everest in their hot air balloon, but are quickly followed by Sam Sinister in an airplane. The adventurers decide to continue on foot, where they encounter some interesting-looking footprints. Pippin gets a little bit too close for comfort with its source, the Yeti. She takes some pictures of it, which I guess scares it away. They're immediately caught by Sam Sinister in a giant net. After this, Johnny escapes and finds the sword. They then go on to China. This story is really speeding up here. LEGO took their time on the first couple of Orient Expedition comics, but the pacing is really fast for these last two. The gang arrives at a Chinese fortress and they get captured and imprisoned by the soldiers there. Pippin manages to escape and lets the rest of them out. They then walk to their next location. I guess I was wrong about the pacing thing. They meet a woman named Jing Li along the way, and they team up. Johnny asks her about the Dragon Fortress, and she says that it's ruled by a false emperor named Cheng Wu. Wu, huh? That name sounds familiar. Anyway, the gang is attacked by soldiers of Wu, and they have to take them out. After a short battle, they run to the lake that surrounds the Dragon Fortress. They hop on a convenient rowboat that just happens to be there, and start sailing. On their way, they notice that Sam Sinister is also here, hitching a ride on one of Chang's boats. They arrive at the fortress and run to the secret passageway. They then encounter Chang's guards, and all hope seems to be lost. Sam takes the treasures from the gang, and at the last second, Jun-Chi arrives. It's another one of those beasts, kind of like Tigera or the Yeti. Sam runs away and accidentally activates a stone statue, which is set on killing whoever awoke him. Sam totally throws Johnny under the bus here and just leaves him to die. Sam runs away and falls down a trap door, possibly dying himself. Johnny puts the sword, shield, and helmet of Marco Polo on the statue, and it offers him the keys to the dragon. Johnny opens the door and finds the ancient golden dragon statue of Marco Polo. With Sam gone, they escape and finally return home. Whew, that was a long story. And that's all for this episode. If you guys want me to cover the audio dramas in more detail, then you can let me know in the comments down below. Well, without any further ado, play well and tell great stories.